Welcome to The Explainer. Sometimes the future doesn't show up with some huge dramatic announcement. Sometimes it just unfolds on a random Tuesday. Well, that's exactly what happened on September 9th, 2025. Today, we're going to connect the dots on what might just be AI's most important day yet.
Okay, first clue of the day. This number, $17.4 billion. And get this, that's not for company buyout or anything. Nope, that's a single deal for cloud infrastructure. We're talking a massive, massive bet on the raw horsepower needed for what's coming next in AI.
And then, at the very same time, you've got this startup that's building, wait for it, the world's first AI software engineer, and it hits this absolutely insane valuation. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The smart money wasn't just backing a new app. They were betting on an entire autonomous AI workforce.
And what's powering all this? Well, that's the third piece. A brand new generation of computer chips gets announced, promising a five-fold jump in AI performance. That is a staggering leap. Suddenly, there's way more power, and it's right in our hands.
So you've got this huge infrastructure deal, a giant bet on an AI workforce, and this crazy leap in computing power. At first glance, they seem totally separate, right? But they're not. They are absolutely pieces of the same puzzle. And they all point to one single enormous shift in tech. So what's the real story here? What are they telling us when you put them all together?
All right, so the story really starts on two main fronts. You can think of them as two battlegrounds, and they're both pushing AI forward, but in totally different ways.
Okay, first up, there's this huge push to put some serious AI power right into your pocket. Leading the charge here is Apple with their awe-dropping event. They unveiled the new A19 Pro chip, and the whole point of this thing is private, offline AI. AI that works without having to call home to the cloud.
So what we're seeing here are two totally different philosophies for the future of AI. On one side, you've got companies like Apple and ARM. They're all in on building for the edge. A world where you've got super fast, super private AI running right there on your phone or your laptop. But at the exact same time, there's this other, even bigger battle happening in the cloud.
And that, of course, brings us right back to that monster number, $17.4 billion. That was the price tag for a deal where Microsoft basically said, we need more power. And they turned to a specialized company called Nebius to get the kind of dedicated AI cloud muscle they needed to run behemoths like Azure and OpenAI.
And this deal, well, it really marks the arrival of what people are calling the neo-cloud. It's like a whole new layer in the AI world. Because what we're learning is that even a giant like Microsoft can't build data centers fast enough to keep up. So they have to go to these specialists just to get the raw compute power they need for the biggest, baddest AI models out there.
Okay, so this whole revolution in hardware and the cloud, that's really only half the story. If you want to see where this is all really going, you got to do what they always say, follow the money.
So let's hop across the Atlantic. The French AI company Mistral AI hits this valuation of almost 12 billion euros. Huge number. But the really interesting part isn't the number, it's who invested. ASML. Now, if you don't know, ASML is pretty much the only company on the planet that makes the machines that make the most advanced chips. So you have the hardware world placing a massive bet on the future of AI models. That's a huge signal.
Okay, but back in the US, there's an even more revealing story. A startup called Cognition AI gets valued at over $10 billion. So, what incredible, world-changing thing do they actually make? They're building Devin, the world's first fully autonomous AI software engineer. A valuation like that isn't just a big number. It signals a seismic shift in where the money is going. We're moving away from AI tools that just help humans, and we're sprinting towards AI that can do the entire job by itself. So, when you look at all the big investments from just this one day, a really clear picture starts to form. We're past the point of just funding better chatbots. The capital, it's now aggressively chasing companies that are building autonomous agents. Agents that are designed to take on and actually complete entire jobs.
So, okay, we've got the hardware, we've got the cloud infrastructure, and we've got the money pouring in. But the big question is, what does this new kind of AI actually do? Well, it's starting to break out of the digital world and into our physical one. Take factories, for example. We're seeing the rise of what's called physical AI. This is where robots can finally move beyond just doing the same boring, repetitive task over and over. Now they can actually adapt to complex and even unfamiliar situations. And the early tests, they're showing these incredible boosts in efficiency. And then there's medicine.
where something truly profound happened. A new tool called See Me is using AI to detect hidden consciousness in patients with brain injuries. I mean, the ethical and clinical implications of that, they're just staggering.
Okay, let's step back for a second. A brand new iPhone chip, a monster cloud deal, billions and billions in funding, and an AI that can literally detect consciousness, all happening on the same day. These are not separate stories. They all point to one single unifying theme.
And you know who framed it perfectly? Cisco's president, G2 Patel. He said this on that very same day. We are moving beyond the first era of AI, the tools that just assist us. And we are entering the second era.
And this is what everyone is calling the agentic shift. It's a huge change in thinking. The focus isn't on AI that you just talk to anymore. The focus is now on AI that actually does things for you, all on its own.
And that's the key takeaway. Every single thing we've talked about from September 9th, they were the building blocks for this new age. You've got the on-device hardware for personal agents, the massive cloud infrastructure for enterprise agents, the venture capital placing huge bets on autonomous work, and the real-world applications starting to pop up. It's all converging on this one single future.
So what happened on this one day is that the agentic shift went from being some far-off theory to being a here-and-now reality. It's promising a wave of productivity that's going to reshape pretty much every industry you can think of. Which really just leaves us with one final thought. The age of agents is here. The real question is, are we ready for it?